It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Niccolo Machiavelli. As we delve into the annals of history, we encounter figures who have left indelible imprints on the sands of time. One such figure is Niccolo Machiavelli, an Italian Renaissance political philosopher and statesman, remembered for his masterpiece, The Prince. Born in an era of political upheaval and artistic flourishing, Machiavelli's contributions were not just confined to politics, but spanned across various domains like history, military theory, and diplomacy. His works have left a profound impact, influencing generations of learners, thinkers, and leaders around the globe. From the streets of Florence to the corridors of power, Machiavelli's life was as dramatic as the era he lived in. Today we aim to explore this intriguing man, to delve into his life, his works, and the influence he exerted on the world. So, without further ado, let's embark on this journey to understand the man who was Machiavelli. Niccolo Machiavelli, a name synonymous with cunning and ruthless political strategy, was born in 1469 in Florence, Italy. His birthplace, a city-state teeming with intellectual fervor and political tension, was a crucial element in shaping the young Machiavelli. Let's dive into the roots of this fascinating figure. Born into a family with a long lineage, the Machiavellis, though not wealthy, were respected for their ancient bloodline. His father, Bernardo, was a lawyer and a man of letters. Despite their limited means, Bernardo ensured that Niccolo received a comprehensive education. He was schooled in Latin and Italian literature, philosophy, and the history of the classical world, cultivating in him a sharp analytical mind and a profound love for the Republic. The Florence of Machiavelli's youth was a hive of cultural and political activity. The city was under the rule of the Medici family, patrons of the arts who played a significant role in igniting the Renaissance. However, beneath the surface of artistic prosperity, political unrest simmered. The Medici's autocratic rule was a stark contrast to the republicanism that Machiavelli would later champion. The tension between these two political ideologies would become a defining theme in his life and work. Growing up, Machiavelli witnessed the power struggles, diplomatic maneuvers, and violent upheavals that characterized Florentine politics. These experiences gave him a unique perspective on power and authority, planting the seeds for his later theories. Machiavelli's early life was not just about books and political drama. He was also a man of the world, engaging in the social and cultural life of Florence. He was known to be a charming conversationalist, a lover of good wine, and a keen observer of human nature. In essence, the Florence of Machiavelli's upbringing, with its intellectual vibrancy and political volatility, served as the perfect incubator for his evolving political consciousness. It's here that a young man from a modest background began to develop the ideas that would make him a pivotal figure in political theory. A man of humble beginnings, Machiavelli was destined for a life that would change the face of political theory. Machiavelli's life took a significant turn when he entered the world of politics. As the city of Florence ushered in the age of the Republic, Machiavelli found himself appointed as the second chancellor and secretary of the Florentine Republic. This position placed him right at the heart of the city's political life, allowing him to witness and partake in the machinations of power. Machiavelli's role was not just confined to the desks and halls of the Florentine government. He was frequently sent on diplomatic missions, meeting some of the most influential leaders of the time. From the cunning Cesare Borgia to the powerful Pope Julius II, Machiavelli's interactions with these figures gave him a first-hand look at the strategies and tactics used by those in power. His observations did not go to waste. In fact, they deeply influenced his political thought. He began to see the world of politics not as a realm of morals and ethics, but as a brutal and unforgiving chess game, where the ends justified the means. His experiences taught him that political survival required cunning, ruthlessness, and a keen understanding of human nature. But Machiavelli was more than just a keen observer. He was a man of action too. As a military reformer, he pushed for the creation of citizen militias, believing that they would be more loyal and effective than mercenary armies. This was a bold move, challenging the established norms and earning him both praise and criticism. Yet, Machiavelli's political career was not all about success and triumphs. He had his fair share of setbacks too. The return of the Medici family to power in Florence led to his downfall. Accused of conspiracy, he was arrested, tortured, and eventually exiled from the city he had served so devotedly. Machiavelli's political career, however, was not always smooth sailing. Despite the challenges and obstacles, It was during this tumultuous time that Machiavelli penned his most famous work, The Prince, forever changing our understanding of politics and power. After the Medici family regained power, Machiavelli was exiled, a period that led to the birth of his most famous work. This chapter in Machiavelli's life can be seen as a turning point, a moment of transformation from a political actor to a political philosopher. In exile, Machiavelli found himself in the tranquil solitude of the countryside, far from the political turbulence of Florence. He was forced to abandon his political career, but not his political mind. He spent his time studying the works of classical philosophers and historians, such as Livy, Tacitus, and Cicero. This period of intellectual exploration and contemplation ignited his own philosophical insights. From these seeds of thought, his most famous work, The Prince, began to take root. In it, Machiavelli broke with tradition, focusing not on how rulers should behave ideally, but on how they did behave in reality. He argued that leaders must do whatever is necessary to maintain power and secure their state, even if it meant discarding conventional morality. "The end justifies the means," he famously wrote, a sentiment that ignited controversy then, and continues to do so now. The Prince was revolutionary. It looked at politics through a pragmatic rather than idealistic lens. Machiavelli's unflinching examination of power and those who wield it was a departure from the moralistic political philosophy of his time. Instead of offering a guide to virtuous rule, Machiavelli presented a manual for hard-nosed statecraft, a realistic approach to the dirty business of politics. Yet, it's important to remember that Machiavelli wrote The Prince not as a celebration of tyranny, but as a guidebook for leaders navigating the treacherous waters of power. His aim was to provide a realistic framework for leadership, in a world where ideals often fall by the wayside. The Prince, although controversial, became a cornerstone of modern political theory. It remains one of the most influential and widely debated works in the field, a testament to the enduring relevance of Machiavelli's sharp political insights. Machiavelli passed away in 1527, but his influence on political theory endures. When we consider the vast landscape of political thought, few figures cast as long a shadow as Niccolo Machiavelli. His writings, particularly his seminal work, The Prince, have fundamentally shaped the way we understand power, leadership, and the state. The Prince, a pragmatic guide to ruling, diverged from the moralistic and religious tones of political writings of the era. Machiavelli's starkly realistic approach to politics, where the ends justify the means, was a groundbreaking departure from the contemporary norm. This brought about the term Machiavellian politics, which often carries a negative connotation, symbolizing deceit, manipulation, and ruthless pragmatism. Beyond the notorious reputation, however, is a man who can be seen as the father of modern political science. Machiavelli was one of the first to propose that political leaders should be judged on their ability to maintain the state and the welfare of its citizens, rather than on their personal virtues or adherence to religious doctrine. This approach was revolutionary and laid the groundwork for the political realism we see in modern political thought. His influence is pervasive and far-reaching. It can be seen in the works of key political thinkers like Thomas Hobbes and Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Even today, his writings are studied in universities around the world, offering timeless insights into power dynamics and statecraft. But Machiavelli's legacy is not just confined to the academic world. His ideas are still invoked in contemporary political discourse, and his principles are used as a lens to analyze the actions of modern leaders. Whether it's a CEO navigating corporate politics, a world leader making tough decisions, or a strategist planning a campaign, the shadow of Machiavelli looms large. In many ways, Machiavelli's ideas encapsulate the complexity and contradictions of politics. His writings force us to confront the uncomfortable realities of power and leadership, challenging us to think critically about the world around us. Machiavelli's legacy, controversial and complex, continues to shape our understanding of politics even today. So, the next time you hear the term Machiavellian, remember the man behind the moniker and the profound impact he's had on the world of political thought. Niccolo Machiavelli, a man of many facets, left an indelible mark on political theory. From his humble beginnings to his influential political career, his story is one of resilience and cunning. This astute strategist, despite his exile, penned The Prince, a seminal work that continues to shape our understanding of power and politics. Machiavelli's teachings, often misunderstood as ruthless, were in fact a realistic portrayal of human nature and the dynamics of power. His ideas, far from being outdated, resonate even in our modern political landscape, echoing in the strategies of leaders and policymakers. His influence extends beyond the realm of politics, permeating the fields of philosophy, ethics, and leadership. His legacy, therefore, is not just the product of his writings, but the enduring relevance of his insights in our world today. In the words of Machiavelli, "Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great." Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Niccolo Machiavelli's life and works. Remember to subscribe for more content like this, and don't forget to share and follow us.